Anyshow, at 15, I was making a good living out of the stock market. I being in the smaller bucket shop where the man who traded in 20 share at a clip was suspected of being John W. Gates in the sugar at JP Morgan traveling ignorant to bucket shop in Thursday. Sell down, lay down on their customers. They didn't have to three were other ways of parting customers from their money. Even when the gested right, the business was tremendously profitable. When it was a conduct legitimately, I mean straight. As far as the bucket shop went, the fluctuation took care of the substring. It doesn't take much of a reaction to wipe out of a margin of only three quarters of a point. Also, no Wilshire couldn't ever get back in the game. Wouldn't have any trade. I didn't have following. I kept my business to myself. It was a one man business. An issue. It was my head. Wasn't price either. Where going the why? I dropped him out without any help from friends of parents, or they were going the other way, and nobody couldn't stop them out of kindness to me. I couldn't see where I needed to tell my business to anybody else. I have good friends of because of course, but my business has always been the same, a one man affair that in which I will have always played a long hand. As it was, I didn't take long for bucket shop to get sure on me for betting. Then I did walk in plan down my margin. They book it without making a move to grab it. They tell me there was nothing doing there. That was the time they go to calling me the boy. Pulling girl, I had to be changing brokers all the times, going from one bucket shop to another. It good so that I had give up fiction's name. ID being light only 15 or 20 shares at times when they got special IDs lost on purpose at first and 10 setting then proper. Of course, after will they find me too expensive and they tell to me to take myself and business also and not interferes with the owners dividends. Once when the big conquering ID being trade with from months so shut down me, I made put my mind to take a little more of their money was from the that bucket shop had branches all over the city and hotel lobbies and nearby towns. I went to one of the hotel branches and asked the manager a few questions and finally go to trading. But as soon as played an active stock my special way being to a message from the head office asking who it was that who's operating. The manager told me what they asked him and I told him my name was Edward Robinson of Cambridge. He telephoned that glad news to the big chief, but the other and wanted to know What I when the manager told me that I was to him. Tell him I am. What did they say to you? I asked him politely. They said you blanketly blank. Fold didn't will tell you to take no business from Larry Livingstone and you deliberately let him trim us out $700. He didn't say what else they told him. I tired the other branches on one after another. But they are lot of to know. Me and my money wasn't any good in any of their office. I go even go in to look at the question without some of the clerk making cracks at me. I tried to get them to let me trade at long intervals by dividing my visiting among them all, but that didn't work. Finally there was only one left to me, and that was the biggest and richest of all the compensation stockbroker company. The compensation was rated as A1 and did enormous business. It had branches in every manufacturing town in New England. They took my trading all rights and budget and sold stocks and made and lost money for months, but in the end happened with them. Usually they didn't refuse my business point blank as the small conquerors had on, not because it was sports, sportsmanship, but because they know it would give them black eye to publish the news that the wouldn't take a flow business just because that follow happened to make a little money, but they didn't the next worse that think that is they made me put a 3 point margin and complete me to pay a premium a first of a half point the point and finally a point and half sum handicap that how easy suppose still was selling at 90 and you bought it was your ticket rate normally bought 10 still at 90 if put up a point margin it meant the broke 89 you were wiped up automatically in a bucket shop. The customer is not important for more margin or put the yet painful necessary of telling his broker to sell for anything he can get. But when the compensation tacked on that premium they were hitting below the belt, it meant what if the price was 90 when I budget inside of making my ticket, but still at 90 I read or but still at 91. Why that stock called advance a point and quarter after budget it and id still be losing money if I closed the trade and by also insisting the I put up 3 point margin at the every start they reduced my trading capacity by two-thirds. Still that was the only bucket shop that would take my business at all, and I had to accept their terms or quit trading. Of course, I had my ups and downs, but was a winner on balance. However, the consultation people were not satisfied with the helpful handicap the head ticket and me, which should have been enough to be anybody.